Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I hope you're having an amazing day. Grab your favorite drink. I am sipping on some tea. Come in, settle in, and let's chat. I am your host, life purpose strategist, Coach Nidra Carrier. Y'all, today's episode is a special one. We're diving into a topic that's near and dear to my heart, and it doesn't get talked about nearly enough in the melanated community: womb wellness. So, we'll be talking about fibroids and how this condition impacts Black women at disproportionate rates. Our guest today is doing incredible work around womb wellness, detoxing, and helping Black women take back their power. And I cannot wait for you to hear her wisdom. But before we dive in, I want to go ahead and introduce our special guest. Quilla is a certified detoxification specialist, and she is the founder of DYL Method. She works with stressed and overwhelmed Black women, helping them get back to health one bite at a time. And what I admire about Quilla is how she bridges the gap between natural healing and health disparities that we face as a community. She has studied under some of the best healers on the planet, y'all, and her work is rooted in helping us understand how our bodies work so we can finally stop outsourcing our health. She also believes that healing is our birthright. And after today's conversation, you'll understand why. Y'all, please help me welcome Quilla to Forties and Transforming. Sis, I'm so honored to have you here today. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good too. So,
That's
before we go ahead and start the conversation, I want to take a little time and to talk about why you're here and how I got here, because this topic is very personal to me. I was diagnosed with fibroids back in 2005, and I had a myomectomy in 2013, but that was it. Like, nothing else was done. And I remember them telling me that the fibroids will definitely come back,
mm,
and that the only way to guarantee to get rid of them was to have a hysterectomy. And as a Black woman at that time, I hadn't had children yet. So I said, hell no.
yeah,
And I'm still saying hell no, even though I decided not to have children, but because it's my body, it's my choice, right?
yeah.
So today, while there's so much I love to dive into, and hopefully there may be a part two, y'all, but I really want to focus on what are fibroids? How do we get to this state with fibroids? And but most importantly, what are the alternatives? Like, what can we do before going under the knife?
Mhm.
And I'm going to minimize my screen so you can go ahead and take it from here.
Okay, well, thank you. All right, I'm gonna share my screen real quick, and so that you all can see the presentation that I have available. And let me just make sure you all are seeing exactly what I'm seeing. Yep, you are. And let me put this in presentation mode so you can see everything. Alrighty. And thank you so much for that introduction. I really, really appreciate it.
Oh.
Understanding PCOS and fibroids, that's the one thing that if you go to, let's say, any kind of medical like search, and
Mhm.
you say, what is the cause of fibroids? Even Chat GTP will say they don't know the cause.
Mm.
Well, we're going to get rid of that tonight. By the time we're done, or today, by the time we're done, you're going to understand the actual cause of PCOS and fibroids. So that's the one thing that if you don't understand this, you won't get anything else. And they can pretty much blow smoke up your ass and
Mm.
have you doing all these different things or thinking that this is your only option, like hysterectomy or doing this or doing that is your only option when they don't even understand how the cells work to how you got to this place. So you're going to understand more than your doctor tonight about the actual cause of fibroids.
Mm.
Okay.
Let me get my notebook out.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. So imagine having no more issues like heavy bleeding, painful periods. We're actually supposed to have a 3 day or less pain free panty liner period. So imagine having that where you don't have to worry about hemorrhaging and don't have to worry about being anemic because you're hemorrhaging.
Mm.
So there is an actual answer. We're not supposed to be bleeding out the way that we do. Okay. So imagine your libido coming back and having successful pregnancies where you're going full term when you're deciding when you want to have your babies. Even if you want to decide to have your baby later on in life after your career, let's say 45 years old, you can have a healthy baby. Okay. So imagine your wedding day glow and understanding that, look, if my family gets sick, my new husband gets sick, I actually know how to fix them. So, like the sister says, she's like, you can actually be responsible and don't have to outsource your health.
Mm.
So that's the whole thing. You don't want to outsource your health at all. So you want to know, why is this so different? It's because we're going to get down to the core and simplify why this is happening. Okay. So like Sister Nedra's doing, she's got her pencil and paper out. So you guys get your pen and paper out and take some really good notes, because I'm about to take you on a ride. And by the time we're done with this ride, you're going to understand from A to Z exactly how this happened. Okay. So for me, my story was, I started having some reproductive issues like cramping at a very early age. I started my period around, I think I just turned 13 years old when I started my period. And the one thing I noticed is that I was having stage 1 labor pains. And of course, at that young age, I'm not understanding why I'm cramping so bad. And the first thing my doctor, my mom's OBGYN, wanted to do was put me on birth control pills. My mom knew better. She was like, nah, we're not going to mess with that child's hormones like that. But the thing of it is, they were never able to tell me why I was experiencing cramps. And it had everything to do with what I was eating. So finally, you're going to get the answer of PCOS and fibroids, because it's going to be something that we're doing on a daily basis, and it's causing a backlash on our cells at the end of the day. Okay. So it starts with our food. Unfortunately, it's not your fault that the way they taught us in school with the food pyramid, that they taught us with an interest of big food companies. Big food companies had a huge influence on that food pyramid that they gave us. I'm 1970s child, so I remember where the food pyramid had a lot of grains at the bottom. Nedru, did you have the same thing with you when you grew up? Because I know you're younger than me.
Yeah, I'm an 80s baby, but yeah, we did.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I remember everybody. I don't know if y'all remember that. At the bottom was, you're supposed to eat 7 servings of green.
I do remember that triangle.
And if you ate that many servings of grain, you'll be big as a house. You're not supposed to have that many servings of grain. That was from 70s, 80s children growing up. That was a
Mm.
food pyramid. And you saw your fruits and vegetables, in their raw form, but you also saw your meat, your dairy. Everybody had their big food had their hands in that, and it programmed us. So if you want to talk about propaganda, we were taught that. And we were also taught to have faith in a trauma care based medical system. So when we look at the medical system that we have today, before Rockefeller influenced that, we had the different modalities of health. We had holistic health, we had homeopathy, we had the doulas, or your midwives, we had the herbologists, or what they call the root woman back in the day. They had the chiropractic schools. They had all sorts of schools before the Flexner report came out that shut a lot of the competition down, so that the trauma-based medicine that we're used to right now
Mm.
took over. They took over the healthcare bus. They kicked everybody else off the bus. Thankfully, the chiropractors, they fought to get back on the bus, because they had claimed them to be quack, what I think they call it quack medicine. But the chiropractors were able to prove, no, this is not quackery. We are actually legit. So they let them back on the bus, right? But the healthcare system that we have, it goes under a category, and that category is trauma based medicine. which is if you get shot, you have an accident, something ruptured, you need to see them and they will stitch you back together. They will operate on you and they will give you the best drugs ever so you don't feel the pain. That's their specialty. Their specialty is not in holistic care. And you can see that with us having fibroids and they're not having an answer as to how it
Yeah.
starts. Yeah, it makes sense, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So understand their category. They're trauma-based medicine. They got the best surgeons, the best medicine ever when it comes to pain and putting you back together again. You die on that table, they can usually bring you back.
Yeah.
You want to go see them, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
They got really good equipment too. So when you need blood work done, I like seeing them. I like working with them.
Yep.
Right? So just understand it starts with the food. The food is something that we do on a daily basis. And that's the one thing that they programmed us to doing, right? So we go, okay, this is what we call consider healthy. If I follow this food pyramid, even though it's changed over time, I'm supposed to do that, but it still makes us sick. And I'll go into why.
Okay.
Okay, so remember, your cells, this is what happens. The same way you eat digestively, they eat. All cells eat, and this is your blood system that brings in the food, and all cells poop, just like you do.
Okay.
Okay? So they eat and they poop. All right? So now here's the question. Just like if you have a baby and somebody forgets to change that baby's diaper out in 24 hours, what is the one thing we're going to see on that child's skin
Rash.
every time?
Mm-hmm.
So imagine your little cells. That's why they're wearing a diaper. Your cellular diaper hasn't been changed out in the last 30, 40 years. What do you think their little bottoms look like?
Horrible.
Right. And this
Wow.
is the cause of disease. This is the cause of everything. When your body is made up of trillions of cells up and down from top to bottom, and they're all wearing little tiny baby diapers. What's happening with the cellular poop?
Mm,
No one is talking about this except for those in the holistic areas. But your trauma based medicine is not talking about this.
mm-mm.
How simplistic is it if you understand that my cells eat, my cells poop? That's real simple, right?
Yeah.
So you can follow along. You be like, wait a minute, doctor. And all I got to do is change out my cellular baby diaper? Ain't nobody teaching you how to do that. That's what I specialize in.
Because they
But
want to
ain't
keep
nobody else
it.
out here really teaching you that in the trauma based medicine field.
Mm-hmm.
So all your cells make up tissue, and tissue can either be healthy or damaged because it's going to depend on how much poop that cell is sitting in. And you're going to ask, okay, then how do we remove that, right?
Yeah.
So here's what's happening when your cellular baby diaper keeps getting backed up and all that trash, and the cell is sitting in its own poop. You've got 4 stages of disease, and it's acute, subacute, chronic, and degenerative. I'll say it again. It's acute,
Mm-hmm.
subacute, chronic, and degenerative. So, in these 4 stages, under acute is where you get your irritation and inflammation. This is when your body is signaling, them cells are knocking at the door. Hey, hey, it's getting hot in here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to rash up. And then you go, oh, shoot, let me go to the doctor. Hey, doc, can you see anything wrong with me? I'm feeling some pain. And the doctor will do an MRI or ultrasound or something. He's like, no, you're good. I don't see nothing. Because at the cellular level, they haven't seen it yet. It hasn't manifested into these 4 stages of disease to where they're getting to see it, right? So in acute area, you know something's wrong. You keep going doctor after doctor trying to figure it out. Subacute is right here, chronic inflammation, ulceration. You're just like, there's something wrong. I can't figure it out. But they're going to give you medications and everything and try to pretty much quell that. Or they'll even ask you, hey, is it something mental going on with you? Because we're not seeing anything. You sure it's not all in your head?
I hate that.
Okay. Now
Mm-hmm.
we get to the third stage. This is where your chronic stage is. You're starting to see the tissue damage and scarring. Now they're able to see it.
Wow. Okay.
You see?
Mm-hmm.
So just like if you don't ever take off and keep a child in a dirty diaper for months at a time, that child's skin is just it's
Yeah.
an accelerated process. With the cells, it's a very slow process. It happens over years. Then we go to the fourth stage, tissue destruction and cellular degeneration. And if it's not corrected, it moves on to what they will call cancer, or the C word.
Mm.
So with PCOS and fibroids, we're right here at stage 3. So think of it like a first degree burn, second degree burn, third degree burn, fourth degree burn.
Got it.
And at this stage, you're at a third degree burning. And the body is so intelligent that it'll start creating ways of being able to buffer that. It'll bring in fluids, it'll bring in water. So then you'll get edema or swelling in that area.
Swelling. Yep.
Yeah, and that's the body just being smart. Like, okay, we got to bring the fire department in here. We're burning up. The cells are asking for help, but just imagine that little diaper on fire now.
Mm.
And then the body will say, okay, we're going to start leaching calcium out of the tissue. We've got available calcium here because that is a cooling agent, it's a neutralizer of acids. And then the body will also use cholesterol. So then when they see the cholesterol going up and it starts to plaque in this area, let's say in the womb area, that's what's going on because cholesterol is an antacid.
Oh.
So here's the balls. Here's what's going on, right? Here we
Mhm.
are. And this is just my rendition of here's the cells getting fed by the blood system. And there's a lymphatic system that picks up the cellular poop. Okay. So
Mm.
the lymphatic system is more or less your taxi cab system. So you got your blood system, which is the high speed train system because it moves so fast, but your lymphatic system moves a lot slower. But this is what handles the metabolic waste of the cells because the cells are swimming in this interstitial fluid. And they're dependent on the blood system to bring them the food, and they're dependent on the lymphatic system to take out the sewage. So the lymphatic system picks up that because the interstitial space is made out of fluid, it has to stay balanced. The
Mm.
moment it's not balanced, we're going to experience the swelling. And the lymphatic system picks up the extra fluid. So that's why you're seeing the little fluid sitting in the car, like, okay, we're taking off. The lipids, your fats, that gets handled by your lymphatic system. The blood proteins get handled by your lymphatic system, and the white blood cells are sitting in the lymphatic system as well. So those are the guys that the lymphatic system primarily takes care of, and we're not seeing the trash, the pickup trucks that's picking up the lymphatic sewage or the trash or the poop, the cell poop. That gets taken care of by the lymphatic system as well.
Oh, okay. So is that why we're supposed to like massage
Yeah, or just
those
move,
areas? Just move.
drink your water. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me drink some water.
Yeah.
Yep.
The lymphatic system gets backed up if you don't take care of it. And so if
Mm.
that's getting backed up, the poop is getting backed up. And now the cell is just sitting there with in dirty fluid.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah. So
Mm.
everybody's looking at everything else and they're also looking at the cell. How about it's like the fishbowl analogy? Do you remove the fish? Do you operate on the fish or do you clean out the fishbowl? Do you just clean the water out? You clean
Yeah.
out the water. This is your water right here. This is the guy that keeps that interstitial spaces around the cells clean. Because if not, if that stays backed up, what will happen is you'll get all kinds of rancid fats trapped in there. You'll get little parasites trapped in there because they're coming there to eat the trash, right? You'll get things like your hormones will get trapped in there, like insulin.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it can't get to the cells. So much trash around the cell it can't get to. It's like having somebody that lives in a trailer and it's just nothing but junk around the trailer and you can barely get to the door. That's what's happening. And all of this is because of our food intake. We're eating the wrong types of food. Too much fat, too much or what do you want to call it, processed sugar, too many proteins, way too many proteins. They got us eating like we're cats. And we're not
Yeah.
cats. We're not even our dogs. Our dogs can eat the flesh, and we're supposed to eat it raw if we're going to eat it. We're the only animal that eats her food cooked, and we're the sickest animal walking on the earth.
Mm.
No other animal eats their food cooked.
So are we supposed to eat meat
No.
or not?
Mm-mm. Your body recycles when your body is working correctly. Your red blood cells, when they break down after supposedly 120 days,
Yeah.
the protein is getting recycled. That's why for us as humans, we don't have a high need for protein unless you're in the gym, like powerlifting and stuff.
Yeah.
Then you would bump up your amino acids, like because remember, proteins break down into a simplest form, which is amino acids. So they're using animal tissue to so-called build their muscle when all the body is doing is using up all this fuel, all this energy to try to break it down to its usable form, which is an amino acid. It makes better sense to break down to eat the food that's already bioavailable with amino acids, and it doesn't need to be converted. And that's your greens.
Green.
Your raw greens have so many amino acids, and people start talking about oxalates. No, it's like be quiet about oxalates. I think it's oxalates, oxalates, and it's like you got to think about the flesh. The animal flesh that you ate was more damaging than, let's say, greens that have these so-called oxalates in them. And
Mm.
then when you get into that, there's a way that you measure that to see if it's the usable type of oxalates that are being absorbed or the ones that aren't. So they'll have you fearing the wrong thing. When we have protein damaged kidneys is the reason why we have a backup of the lymphatic system. That's
Mm.
the door.
So no meat.
Yeah, reduce your meat intake big time. Like if you got to eat meat, if you absolutely are addicted to meat, then just reduce it down to fish because fish is meat.
Yeah. Well, you
And
know how we
like
love fried chicken.
right. And we're messing ourselves up. That
Yeah.
lymphatic system is getting overburdened with all these fat lipids from the
Mm.
fried chicken. Look at this. This fat lipid has to take a ride, and then it goes from the, let's say, the little side street, like your little
Mhm.
neighborhood side street,
Yeah.
to the 2 lane or 3 lane highway to the big highway. And after a while, it gets all slowed up because it can cause a traffic jam here pretty easily.
We
And when
don't
you
want
cause a traffic jam there, you're going to cause a traffic jam all the way up to the cellular, to like the little cellular neighborhood, because these are your cells. All these little things here with the eyeballs, those are your cells. And they're depending on that lymphatic system to gently vacuum that fluid that's sitting around the cells, because you got fluid coming in from the blood and the lymphatic system is balancing it, but it's also picking up that trash that's in that fluid, and it's just taking it
that.
on from the capillary side, the from the capillaries to the, like the bigger highways to the really big highway that runs straight up,
Mm-hmm.
into the body, like mid in the middle point of the body. But what happens is we get all backed up at the capillary portion because the big guy is starting to get backed up. And so what
So,
happens when the big guy starts getting backed up? Oh,
oh,
I'll
you,
skip the septic system for right now. Let me see. Here we go. Here's your tumors. Here's what's happening. This is what's causing the fibroid. There is a backup of the lymphatic system, and it's starting to get poisoned.
wow.
Just like when your sewer system breaks in your house and starts backing up in your house, you can't stay in that house. You'll get sick.
I had that problem last year.
See? And think of
Yeah.
it. Now, what if you were a cell? You can't leave. Cells can't just get up and just leave. They're stuck.
Wow.
So if you're stuck in the house, let's say you're in a little trailer, right? You're stuck. You can't go
Mm.
anywhere. Your door doesn't open for you. You're depending on your kitchen so you can eat. So Grubhub comes by and delivers it through your kitchen window, right? And you're able to eat. And you're dependent on your bathroom to work. You're dependent on the sewer system to work.
Mhm.
But when that gets backed up and you're a cell, you're like, what do I do?
Yeah.
So the cell gets sick. And then we go through the 4 stages of disease. And the body does, it says, oh, hell, we're about at the third, fourth stage. So I tell you what, let me start knitting a protein bag together called a tumor bag, aka a hefty trash bag,
Mm,
so I can quarantine the junk or the trash right here and not have it spread all over the place. Tumor balls,
mm.
cysts, pimples, boils.
Oils.
That's what that all is. It's the same thing.
Mm,
It's just happened internally. A tumor is not your enemy. And we've been scared of the word tumor.
it's food.
Yeah, and now because that got trapped right there, because the body's saying we have to quarantine this area because it's sick, we have a sewer line break here. The cells are sitting here in their own poop. Now they're starting to not just poop in the interstitial spaces, they're getting blocked out. It's starting to get solid there. And now they're pooping inside of themselves. So there's cell sepsis. Is this breakdown making sense?
Mm-hmm.
So then the tumor bag gets formed, and now we have, and then when you're looking at fibroids, you're seeing it in multiple places
Mm,
inside the uterus and between the walls of the uterus. Whenever you're seeing that, just think, oh, I got a traffic jam there and it's full of sewage. The cells are in there burning up.
wow.
The body was, if it's, a softer type of tumor bag, you're still seeing where it's like, okay, the acids isn't so hot that it hardened it. When it gets hard, that's the acids. And the acids, cellular poop is like 3.0 pH.
Mm,
That's a pretty low acid, and it burns. And then they'll tell you, oh, your hormones are off. Well, what makes up your hormones? I mean, what makes up the endocrine glands? Cells. Your thyroid is made of cells. Your pituitary gland is made of cells. Your ovaries are made of cells. And all cells have a blood system and a lymphatic system. They got to get fed, and they have to poop, and they have to have the sewage removed. And
mm.
when there's a stagnation, this is what's going to happen. So now you actually understand how the fibroids happen. You know the root cause of the fibroids.
Wow.
Simple, right?
Yeah.
And then they make it hard. They go, well, we got to go in here and remove your womb and all, or we're
Yeah.
going to get rid of these fibroids, but we can't touch that one over there. It was too small. We just decided to leave it there and we just watch it grow.
Well, then they take them out and tell you they'll come back.
Yeah,
They're
this is what
coming
they're
back.
watching. They're watching the lymphatic system get backed up.
Mm,
Lymphomas. Think about the name. That's all that's happening. And the cells can't get up and walk. This is happening at the capillary level, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
poor cells.
And then check this out. Here's your biopsy. The analogy I like to use is if this hefty trash bag that let's say you clean out your fridge and you got all your science projects, you're taking them out and you're throwing them in the trash bag, all the bad food that we forgot about, stuff that's starting to just get necrotic and stuff, we're just throwing it away, right? And then
Mhm.
you tie it up. So the bag starts off small. So think of your fibroids. It started off small, pea-like, right? And because think
Mhm.
of you as you're filling up that hefty trash bag. That trash bag was flat. And you're starting to put more trash in it. Then that trash bag grows. So pea size, golf ball size, grapefruit size,
Yeah. Yeah.
basketball size. You're just seeing the hefty trash bag get filled up. Then what will happen is, let's say this hefty trash bag is here in your breast. They'll
Oh,
say, well, let us poke a hole in there and see what's in it. Is anybody sealing up the hole after they poke a hole in it? What's going to happen if you poke a hole in your trash bag?
it's gonna start leaking. Oh wow. Poor cells. I'm
Right.
sorry.
And the body is like, why did you punch a hole in a trash bag? And now that tumor bag has to go seal that up. I don't recall them ever saying that they seal up the hole after they puncture a hole in it. And what are they going to see inside here? Well, I'll tell you what's inside here. They're going to see cells that are damaged. They're going to see some cells that have gotten so much damage that they turned into the C word, where they just went screwy. And they're going to see
Mm.
them starting to multiply because it's so acidic in here. They're also going to see bacteria and white blood cells. Guess what? White blood cells are there to eat up the trash. They have a second crew that helps them out, which is called bacteria that helps eat up the trash. So when they put you on antibiotics to kill the bacteria, they're killing out some of your helpers. You will also see mold in here because there's
Whoa.
trash in here to eat. There's fungus that will be there because there's trash in here to eat. There'll be small parasites in here because they're all there to eat at the buffet. It's called trash. And they kind of want to work somebody symbiotically with you because they're like, okay, you got extra trash here. Your body can't handle it because it's already put a tumor bag together. So I'm here to eat.
Mhm.
I'm here to eat up any dead cells, dying cells. I'm here to eat up the cellular poop. Oh, unfortunately, I have my own poop that I leave behind. So it might make you sick.
Wow.
And that's what's happening. And it's happening in all over. I don't care what area you put this in. It could be in the pituitary tumor. It can be in the eye, it's an eye tumor. It can be a thyroid goiter.
Mhm.
It's the same thing. You got your basics. I got a cell that has to eat and poop. That's it. That's how simple this is. Oh, pancreatic cancer. Oh, guess what that is? Oh, I have
Cells
a
and
liver tumor. Guess what that is?
mm.
Too many cancers of the blood. You normally got the cancer sitting in the other huge system. It's bigger than the blood system, your lymphatic system. You have to take care of it. And one of the ways that you take care of it, I'll stop sharing here.
Okay.
Um, One of the ways that you take care of it is you have to eat properly. And this is where raw food comes in. Low fat raw food.
Mhm.
A lot of people get into raw food and next thing you know, they got all these oils that they add into it, all these fats. No, you're going to mess yourself up.
Sugars.
Low fat. The sugar is fine. Your human body is made for that, right?
Okay.
You can do that as long as you're not messing with man's sugar. Stay with God's sugar.
Yeah, honey. Yeah.
Yeah, the fruit, you'll be
Mhm.
fine, right? And your body will start to heal. So if you want to see your fibroids shrink, you got to go raw food. Low fat raw food.
And what about alcohol?
You cannot do it.
Can't do it.
You will mess yourself up.
Mm. So
You
on
will
top of the
mess
bad
yourself.
food, then the alcohol, just your
You can't
cells are like,
get food,
yeah.
alcohol, meat, leave it alone. Dairy, leave it alone. Butter, leave it alone. Dairy is anything that is coming out of that cow. Milk, cheese, butter, ghee, and cook oil free. You have to do oil free. If you are saying I can't do raw food, then do vegan. Do vegan, and it's oil free vegan. That will still take some of the burden off of your body so that it can heal. Right now, the raw food is the least amount of burden for your body.
Mm. Mhm.
And your body will actually rehydrate off of the raw food because that's God's water. You're looking at God's sugar and God's water because all cells run off of either glucose or fructose.
Mhm.
Simplest forms of sugar. That's the body takes everything and breaks it down to the simplest form. So it's your fructose, glucose, galactose sugars. It looks at your fats and then your amino acids. That's it.
Wow.
Lipids.
So
So it's just like it's so simple. And so you go, okay, let me simplify what I'm eating. And then here's the thing you're going to need for your lymphatic system: exercise and 1 gallon of water, with the caveat that if you don't have any kind of kidney issues, you can work your way up to 1 gallon of water a day. If you have kidney issues, work with your doctor.
okay.
If you see any kind of edema or swelling, work with your doctor. But if
Yeah.
your kidneys are working and not operating, you got to do this and you got to move. Get at least 10,000 steps in a day. Have you heard? I got a Fitbit. I make sure I get my 10,000 steps in a day.
Mm.
You got to do it. Move on
Wow.
the lymphatic system. That lymphatic system is
Mhm.
connected to your movement. So office job, desk job, take a break, start walking. I don't care if you're gonna walk the steps, go outside and walk.
Yeah.
Even if it's for 5, 10 minutes, and do that several times a day, you're gonna get your 10,000 steps in. The water starts to move that lymphatic system, starts loosening stuff up.
Mm.
And that raw food, you're supposed to eat at least 2,000 calories a day of raw food. A lot of people will start to eat raw food and think, oh, I'm gonna eat, there's one apple, there's one carrot, and there's one orange. Are you kidding me? That is not a nutriently, or what do you want to call it, a dehydrated, dense food. When we
Mm.
cook our food, we dehydrate our food and it becomes dense, right? Therefore, when you're eating, let's say, a burger, that's a very dense meal calorically. When you're eating raw food, let's say you can eat like 6 apples, you're still not going to get up to 1,800 calories that day. Like, let's say you want to eat in a deficit, 1,800 calories. But for most people, you're going to do between 1,800 calories to 2,200. If you're in the gym, you're going to be doing about 22 to 2,500 calories, like if you're lifting heavy.
Mhm.
And when you're lifting heavy, make sure you do your greens, your big salad bowls. And I mean, no meat, no cheese, no dairy. You might want to add some vegan cheese if that's what you want. You might want to add some chickpeas in there if that's what you want,
Mhm.
or chickpeas made out of falafel. Like, you can go to the Indian places and get their falafel. You can go to Kava. Kava is a wonderful salad joint. I
What's the
love going to Kava, Cava.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay.
Yep. And they got their lentil balls, and that's so good.
Ooh, I love lentils.
Yeah. And so you start doing those types of things. You can do high raw if you're saying, I don't want to do 100% raw, but if the fastest results will happen with reversing your fibroids with a high raw diet and lots of water. You don't
So
even really need the herbs if you don't want it. But we do the herbs here. My husband put some ancient formulas together that support that lymphatic system so it will start moving. He's got the herbs that will fix you from head to toe, and that is at teas.dylmethod.com.
yeah, so let's talk about the detox that you have coming May 1st.
Yeah,
How
yeah, the boot camp
Yeah.
detox. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's 30 days, and we take you through it gradually. We have our 5 step system that is proven to work. We do the body diagnostics or the body assessment to see what's going on with you, because everybody has a different genetic weakness.
Mhm.
Everybody. You have a different planetary weakness too. Like for me, I'm a Leo. My planetary weakness, I'm ruled by the sun. So the sun rules over the heart, it rules over the red blood cells, and it rules over your circulatory system. Okay.
Oh, I'm a
I was
Pisces.
born, you're Pisces.
Mhm.
Okay. So then that's your skin. So integumentary.
Okay.
Yeah. So for me, I was born with a hole in my heart and didn't know that until I was 38 years old.
Oh, wow.
And they had to close that up. There's another Leo I know that had a hole in her heart. The mom would start telling me, I said, she was born with a hole in her heart. And she's like, yeah. I said, what's her birth sign? Leo? She's like, yep. So we
Wow.
can have a propensity for your birth sign on the medical side of it, or the physical biological side of it, to have a propensity to either be strong or weak. Because of the way that I ate and the way my mom ate, I lean
Mm.
to the weak side. So when you look at your birth chart, you can look at your red lines and see where your weaknesses are when you understand how to read the body with your zodiac sign. And that's one of my specialties that I do. I
Oh,
do the cosmobiology readings for seeing your weaknesses that you were born with.
okay. And how can someone get in contact with you for that?
Oh, they can go to is it dylmethod.com.
Okay.
Just, yeah, reach out there. Yeah, and we also do the free consults there so that people can understand. Oh, okay, this is what's going on with me. On my genetic side, because you have to understand what are the genetic weaknesses that I have that somebody ate their way to, from my grandmother to my great grandmother. You know what I'm saying? So you got great grandmother, grandmother, my mom,
Yeah.
and they all ate their way to these weaknesses. And now here you are, and you're like, I have a choice now. to either strengthen my lineage or
Mm,
weaken it further. I can strengthen my endocrine system that was weakened by the previous generations. And then when I have my child will come out not at 80%, not at
yes.
70%, but my child can come out at, let's say, 90%
Mm,
for its strength. So the issue is we keep weakening ourselves. But what we can do now, because you understand this now, oh, let me strengthen myself. Let me clean my cells. Let me change the cellular baby diaper out. And that's what the boot camp is. We teach you from A to Z how to do this step by step by step. And you also get unlimited coaching as well. That's unheard of in this industry. So we're here to support you because we know that we have addictions to food. They made sure of it. It's not your fault. They made sure of it. Cooked food is highly addictive.
mm,
And sometimes we got to get weaned off of it. So we have programs that help wean you off of the cooked food until you're able to do, let's say, 5 days of all raw. And then, okay, you go back to eating a little bit of cooked food. And then you go, okay, now I can do 10 days of all raw because we're exercising that muscle, that
mhm.
discipline muscle. And we're also helping wean you off of the addictions of the foods. We're starting to clean up the parasites and the mold and the fungus that's causing you to say, I want this cooked food,
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that come with that, and the mindset is just the beginning
Mm,
because you still got the physical manifestations that's happening inside that says, I want this. I'm addicted to it. Just like a drug addict, you can have a mind game all you want, but
yep.
when your body's going through physical withdrawals, you need.
Yeah.
And that's
Mhm.
what we're here for because you can control how your cells react as far as cleaning them up. Your cells can strengthen. And then what'll happen is 45 days from now, you can go back to your doctor and he's like, oh, shoot, they're just shrinking.
Mm,
And then you go back 60 days from now, oh, damn, the five that you have, we're down to three. Maybe we misdiagnosed you. Then you go back 30 days from that date, so 90 days out, and it's like, they're gone. Maybe you didn't have them in the beginning. No, we had them. I got pictures.
yep.
And they'll say, well, whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
Mhm.
They're never going to really ask you about the food because unfortunately, if they tell people to change, certain things, they can lose their license. They have to play the game.
That's a whole nother conversation.
Boy. Yes, ma'am. Any
Wow.
questions?
No, I mean, I know we're definitely going to have to do this conversation again because there's so much like to talk about
Yeah.
in regards to fibroids and PCOS. Like we didn't even touch PCOS.
Yeah, you're just seeing
Yeah.
PCOS is the next step up. Remember, subacute,
Yeah.
acute, chronic, and degenerative. PCOS is right there at the subacute, and then it can get chronic, where it turns into ovarian. Like it goes from that to chronic to degenerative, where it turns into ovarian cancer. Yeah, it's just the four
Whew.
stages of disease. You remember? He's
Yeah.
like, okay,
Yep.
first degree burn, second degree burn, third
Mhm.
degree
Yep.
burn, fourth degree burn. My cells are sitting in their diapers and they're lit up.
Wow.
And then the so-called C word treatments that they do, the best analogy is that the one that my husband gives. He goes, imagine you had a kitchen fire. And let's say the kitchen fire is in your breast, right?
Mhm.
So the kitchen fire is there, and you call the fire department, and the fire department, aka the trauma medical system, comes in and they go, oh, we're going to do a scorched earth policy. We're going to burn your entire house down. For a kitchen fire, it's like, why? Wait a minute, why are you starting a fire in the front part of my house? I
Wow.
had a kitchen fire back here. You burnt the whole house down. What the hell?
Mm.
So you burn the whole house down.
Yeah.
Now you got to rebuild, but you got the wrong materials to rebuild with. So wait a minute, what? Why did we do that when actually the body needed an alkaline material, aka
Mm.
raw food, to cool it down, to hydrate, and to start reversing the process?
Yeah. Inflammation is a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First step, the first step, first degree
First
burn. Your
step.
body is letting you know, hey, it's hot in
Uh-huh.
here.
Something is, yeah.
And once you understand, like we teach you in the boot camp how your body works. We do it at a high level. When you do the lifetime one that we have, that is very, very intricate. So it's like you'll understand what causes the C word, how to fix it. Like we always give you the causes and then a formula card on how to fix it. So with the boot camp, you're getting a high level view. It's like, here's my cause and here
Yeah.
are my basic steps. If I stick to these basic steps, I'm gonna fix it every time.
Wow.
As long as the body has the energetic vitality, you will fix it every time. And you can start doing that with your friends and families
Hmm.
if they listen to you. If they listen to you,
Yeah. If they listen.
you can help
Oh.
bring people out of all kinds of stuff if they listen. But
Mm.
the problem is we have addictions.
The meat is a big one.
Yeah.
That fried chicken.
This is the only reason why I exist. Because if it was that simple, y'all wouldn't need me.
Mm.
And guess what? The other thing is we bring in the herbs because the herbs are there for strengthening and cleaning. We may have somebody in our family before us may have ate their way, let's say the thyroid, they ate their way to damaging that endocrine system or the thyroid, that by the time my mom had me, my mom already had, let's say, for instance, my mom had, my mom doesn't, but just say, I'm just using an example, that my mom had a weakened thyroid.
Hmm.
And then I come along, and then by the time I'm 13, 14 years old, I have a weakened thyroid.
Wow.
Then it's like, oh, shoot, I ate my way to it. And then there's the herbs. The herbs say, okay, you have a weakened thyroid. It's not hyperactive, it's hypoactive. And because it's hypoactive, you need this herb, this herb, this herb. Your body knows what it needs.
Mm.
You do, you give your body that herb to support that gland. We
Hmm.
use herbs incorrectly. We use it for, well, how I fix this, what I need for that. We use it like it's allopathic medicine, and it's not. The herbs have always been there for the glands, always been there for the tissues. The herbs have always been there to support certain organs.
Mm.
Some herbs are so powerful, they're like, yeah, I can correct everything. I can support and clean up everything. Slippery elm is one of those. It is a
Slippery
strong
what?
slippery elm is a very, really strong detoxifier. Um, do I have some? I thought I had some. Yeah, slippery elm bark.
Mm. Slippery elm bark.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a picture of it right there.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
nice.
doing that just to start off with supporting and cleaning those organs. It is a huge one. It's from head to toe. That guy is powerful.
So when they join your boot camp, they'll get access to all this wonderful information.
Yeah, they get access to the coaches. So we have the Tuesdays and Thursday live coaching. You
Okay.
get one bag of my husband's tea, which is supporting all of your systems and to start cleaning. And
Nice.
you also get 30 days of the support. You get the it's 2 months worth of your meal plans who's already done for you. So all you gotta do is just shop and get it. Like the recipes are there, everything is done. And then you get the unlimited coaching. So we're there to support you every step of the way because you're going to have detox symptoms. You're going to have setbacks.
Hmm.
You're going to need people to plug in and 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 actually help you get to the finish line. This 30 days is intense, but you're going to get the result. And most of all, you're going to get the knowledge that no one can ever take away from you. Because you know how they say, once you learn it,
Hmm.
no one can take it from you.
That's it.
And the education is first and foremost.
That's it.
Yeah. And now here's the bridge that happens where you take that knowledge and you go back to your communities and start to strengthen and clean up and help your communities out. So that way we become um, stronger and not succumb to the so called typical diseases that Black people succumb to. You can get rid of diabetes. You can get rid of high blood pressure. You can get rid of fibroids. So then they'd be like, why are these black women all of a sudden not coming to us anymore? We
Yes.
had a cash cow going on with them.
Yes.
Hold on. The Chinese shops are suffering because now we growing our own hair and lashes.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Hello. Locking our hair, wearing it in froze. Just
Like, wait a
loving
minute.
us.
The eye doctor and all of them, they losing money too
Yeah.
because now they don't need the glasses or the prescriptions or the
Mm.
macular degeneration operations. They don't need the cataracts removal. What the hell? The big pharma, they start losing money. They like, wait a minute, how come this group over here, they don't need our medicine like that no more? And
Mm.
Amlodipine, they don't need that no more. What the hell? Cancer. Oh, wait a minute. They ain't even coming in for mammograms because they don't need it.
Yeah.
It's just this way. And then the children. Oh my God.
Oh,
You
yes.
know the freedom that the kids get and the freedom that these kids like. We got children that can tell you how your body works. You got children that knows how to fix themselves. Parents
Mhm.
will bring the children in sometimes because parents sometimes have a hard time getting over their own mindset. And the child's like, I just want to eat grapes for 45 days. I can fix it.
Yeah.
Them
Yep.
babies know.
Hmm.
So now this child is going to give birth to even stronger kids. But then
Yep.
the thing about it is our mind clears up, and now here's your inventors. Here's all kinds of, so here's our way of being able to be rebels in our own way
Hmm.
of helping
Exactly.
clean up and
Yep.
supporting our people because we need it. Medical apartheid happened to us.
Hmm.
They did deliberate ignorance that happened not just to everybody else, but especially in our communities. So then let's give this knowledge back. Let's become the root person, people, the root woman again. Let's have the doulas that have this kind of
Yes.
information. Let's bring healthiness back into our communities. It starts one bite at a time, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Break away from the matrix.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, this was everything, and I truly believe this conversation and many others like this is going to wake up the people even more,
yeah,
because we need to know that we can heal ourselves.
all the time. Yeah,
And so I thank you very much for being here. And again, please let everyone know how they can stay connected, get connected, and how
yeah,
they can join your boot camp that's starting.
yes.
Detox boot camp.
Yes, ma'am. They can go to dylmethod.com. That's D as in David, Y as in yellow, L as in Larry, method as in method man.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, and then also you can follow us on Instagram and YouTube, the same DYL method. So like tonight, for the next 4 days, I will be doing the break the what's it called? Wait a minute. Break the cycle, heal the root of fibroids and PCOS. So it's 4 days. I'm giving away free gifts and everything. So 4 days worth of information that I'm giving it piece at a time, so that way you can really get it. And so that's my 4 day series that starts at 6 o'clock tonight and doesn't
Okay.
end until Friday at 6. So 6 o'clock Tuesday, 6 o'clock Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for this week. Yeah,
Amen.
and then I give you the invitation to join us at the boot camp. You go to my bio, do the free intake form. Let's see what's going on with you, and then figure out which program works for you. If it's the 30-day boot camp, or if you want the lifetime program that we have.
Oh, nice. Okay. So
Yeah,
I'll make
yeah.
sure I'll pin y'all website at the
Okay,
bottom in
thank you.
the comments.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so
All
much.
right.
I appreciate
Yes.
you.
Yes. Well, thank you. I love
Yes,
this
ma'am.
conversation. This is Alrighty, y'all. So that was an amazing conversation, and I want to thank you so much for watching Forties and Transforming, reinventing your life in your 40s. Until next time, take care of yourself, stay in alignment, and I'll see you next episode. Bye.